morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
How are you, sir?
Fantastic, fantastic.
We were talking about Griffin Park. There's a Wade Park named
Absolutely.
after Alan's dad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right over there on East Avenue in Plymouth. Been there for a few years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. We were just talking a little basketball, and gosh, the tradition that that we have in this town is unbelievable. And you know, you were coming up in the late '60s and early '70s. You saw talent that this town hasn't seen.
I've seen some guys that, well, you know, I'm Parkside alumni, and you know, 2 or 3 guys preceded me that were pretty off the hook, and as we were talking before, I saw some guys that had future talent, such as Dave Sierra. You know, his dad was our coach, and Dave would be at every practice, and even though he was like 5 years younger than us, you know, he was giving us the blues, you know, shooting. You know, he couldn't obviously play with us, but you know, just standing around shooting, you know, I said, this boy's going to be able, he's going to make some noise out here.
Yeah, and he did.
He did.
And that was quite an arena for basketball. It was like state of the art. In the state of Michigan, it was like the crown jewel.
Well, you know, consumers donated those lights. Those
Okay.
lights that hung right over the court.
Oh, okay.
They were experimental lights. They were state of the art, and it was just, you know, well lit court, players court, and the atmosphere back in those days was certainly a 180 to what it is today.
Yeah.
And when Jackson High played Parkside, standing room only.
Yeah.
The crowd, even though, you know, that arena, I mean, first of all, the field house was one of a kind.
Right.
You know, as Magic, you know, I saw your interview with Magic, and he commented on playing in that field house, how wonderful it was to play there.
Right.
And so, yeah, but those are some, you know, some years that I cherish and certainly appreciate.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got one of the most beautiful newspapers in the state of Michigan, and it's right here in Jackson, the Jackson Blazer News.
Well, thank you.
And we're going on how many years now?
This will be 62.
Wow. Unbelievable.
62 years.
Bart, you and I haven't been on the cover in a while, have we?
It's
But
about
you
time.
have been great to our family.
Well,
I
you
just
know-
want to thank you.
Oh, you did a wonderful story about
Yeah.
Well, you know,
thank you
that
very
was
much.
that was, you know, the pleasure's all mine. First of all, because you guys do a fantastic job. I love the way you you know, cover the entire community, and we kind of share the same views in that regard. You know, we're all about unifying Jackson.
Yep.
And you know, from the heart. And so that's what makes it. You know, that's what made my, you know, opportunity to spend with the Hawley family, and it was just, you know, we had a great time, and so that was one of my favorite pieces in the Blazer.
Yeah, that was a great time. It was really just fun hanging out with you, chatting.
Absolutely, yeah.
What about what were some of the highlights for you this last year with the Blazer? Maybe some stories you covered, maybe some people you met.
When I look back, I tell you, one of the highlights, a girl named Taylor Rucker. Remember that name?
Okay.
Last year she was a 7th grader, gymnastics. I didn't hear about her, and then I met her mom. I met her grandmother, Sherry. And this girl she went on to win the state and the overall events, you know, how the points,
Sure.
you probably know how that process. But then she won the regional, which is like 6 states.
Wow. Where
And
did she go to school?
She goes to, what's the school out on McCain Road?
Western.
No, McCain Road. McCain and
Paragon.
Paragon.
She goes to Paragon.
Yeah, Paragon. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I'm telling you, you're gonna hear about her.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
You know, and I want to pledge my support because hey, that's quite an expensive process
For sure.
to go through that. You know, with a single family. And so the Blazers are going to support her. Maybe you guys can join in and whatever, however we can, you know, help her. But
Yeah, that's cool.
she's going to be somebody that we're going to pay attention to. That's one of my favorite stories, Andy, to answer your question. Yeah, and just to see her progress, and you know, and then you know we had, you know, the city made those grants to for the Francis Street corridor, and we're kind of seeing some of the results. Have you seen Mikey's Barbershop?
I've been in there. Yeah.
Okay, so you know,
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you know, so they're trying to beautify Francis Street again, and so. But there were some great stories. You know, we lost some people. We lost one of my classmates on my basketball team, Mike Hurd. Mike Hurd went to Michigan State from 70 to 74. He actually designed the logo on the helmet.
Really?
For the Spartans.
Wow.
Yeah, and but you know, hey, it was a pretty eventful year. But you know, getting to that point where you know, a few of my classmates, we lost another one of my classmates, Warren Johnson. He one of my basketball. Did you know Warren?
I just know his son.
Okay, yeah. So you know his son, the police officer. Yeah. So, but you know, Jackson. This year was, you know, we had our normal holidays, Juneteenth.
We just lost two JPS longtime administrators this month, Bob Du Bois.
Oh,
and
did
Don,
we?
Yeah, and Don Q. Ellis. Just this
Sure did. Don Q just
week.
passed. I didn't know, but, you know, Bob Du Bois was one of my coaches.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
he
We're
was-
back in the day, football coach. Great guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Ellis, you know, he was a great man too. I mean, I've been knowing him for years. One of the first black principals, I think, at Jackson High School. If not the first, I don't know if he was the first, but he was a great man, great family.
We had a chance to hear Antonio Bass. He came into town and told his story about his injury. Had you ever heard it like that?
That was the,
Never heard it like that.
you know, I had an opportunity when he was playing to talk to him. We were out on the field, and it was after his injury though, and you know, he was, you know, I guess as optimistic as you can be. You know, who wants to give up on their dream, you know, immediately, right? But yeah, I never heard that. Wasn't that fantastic?
It was awesome. Yeah, talking to him afterwards, he said that kind of helped him a little bit. But you know, he's one of our all-timers that we should be talking about, along with some of the other guys from the 60s and 70s and too. I mean, he's if we had Arch Manning, I mean, he was Arch Manning,
Yes.
the number one recruit, right?
Exactly.
You know, so I think Antonio needs to be celebrated a little bit more in this community.
Couldn't you just feel the passion in his story and almost feel the pain?
Yeah, oh, I sure did.
Yeah,
As if it happened yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ever told a story quite like that,
I don't think he has. I mean, not in public.
especially to the Jackson community,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And
Powerful.
yeah, powerful, absolutely.
Yeah. I saw your sister last week, Babby Mason, at the Babby Mason songwriting competition, and you know what she said? Where's Alan?
Yeah, I spoke with my sister, and unfortunately, I was in Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, it was great seeing her, and it's so cool that she comes back, and it's all just to support and create scholarships for minority students. And it's you can tell it's love, labor of love, that she is so committed to that, and it was a great event.
Well, the one thing about Babby that I certainly appreciate is she has never really forgotten her roots, whether it be family, her early childhood, and just the community at large. I mean, she's made, you know, lifetime relationships and lifetime connections, and they still, regardless of how much success she's had in her life, this is still home, and she still loves this community.
You have a big story you're working on for 2025 you can give us a sneak peek on?
You know, I'm kind of working on a story that incorporates this whole community. You know, I love history, and there's so much history. I was reading this, you know, as I was waiting, just the history of Al Glick. That book is fantastic. You know, I spoke with Al, and I asked him, I saw him at a Michigan game, and I was surprised. He said, "Hey, Alan, I didn't know you knew my name."
That was Al.
And I said, "Al, I want to do a story on you." He said, "Well, we'll see about it." He said, "Come on to my office." So he invited me to his office to look around and saw pictures and, you know, but that's what's on my heart. I want to do a comprehensive story
Oh, cool.
in Jackson.
Very good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming in and look forward to seeing you around town. I know we will, especially with the basketball districts coming up. So look forward to seeing you out and about.
Well, Bart, I'm sure you're going to see you at Jackson College. Bart loves
Oh, yeah.
Jackson College, man. What do you think about the girls before I go, Bart?
They're pretty
Oh
good.
wow, they're amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a pretty good team.
Yeah. So
very
I
good
mean,
team.
hopefully they win the state and on to
That'd be
Missouri.
nice. That'd be nice. Thank you to Alan Wade, the publisher of the Jackson Blazer and great friend to JTV. More of the show after this quick break.